Imagine dropping 60 grand on a brand new truck, and just 6 months later, you're staring at your dash with a sinking feeling while the engine ticks like it's about to self-destruct. That's not paranoia. It's happening. Both Ford and Chevy have cooked up some serious V8 tech for 2025, but under all that chrome and horsepower lies a ticking time bomb. Let's set the stage. On Chevy's side, you've got the 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter small block V8s, battle-tested, sure, but still fighting lifter issues that go all the way back to 2020. Meanwhile, Ford rolls out the Gen 5 Coyote 5.0 V8, now with cylinder deactivation and an upgraded oiling system. Sounds fancy. Until you realize both those upgrades add more parts, and more parts mean more chances something snaps. But here's where it gets crazy. We're seeing real-world cases of these engines failing before they even hit 30,000 miles, like actual full-on lifter-collapsing, oil-spewing failure. And the craziest part? One brand is quietly replacing engines by the truckload, while the other's telling drivers to just top it off and monitor. So the big question is, which V8 dies first? Because if you're about to buy one of these trucks, or already have, you need to know how long it'll survive before the wrench light becomes a $10,000 nightmare. And what we uncovered next? It's not just engine specs. It's lawsuits, recalls, and a few shocking stories that'll make you question everything about modern truck reliability. Alright, so let's talk numbers, because this isn't just about opinions, it's about cold, hard failure rates. According to IC Cars, the 2025 Silverado gets a long-term reliability rating of 8.9 out of 10. Not bad. The F-150? Slightly behind at 8.7. But here's where it gets messy. Consumer Reports dropped a bomb when they predicted below-average reliability for the 2025 F-150 based on previous years. That's right. Ford's most popular truck might be sitting on a reliability cliff. Now, before you hand Chevy the crown, pump the brakes. J.D. Power's initial quality study, one of the most trusted benchmarks out there, put both trucks right in the middle of the pack. That means owners of both brands are already filing complaints within the first 90 days. Let that sink in. So, what does that tell us? Simple. These aren't your granddad's bulletproof workhorses anymore. They look tough, they sound tough, but somewhere between EPA standards and cost-cutting, reliability started taking a back seat. And if you're thinking, well, maybe 2025 fixed those issues, you're going to want to hear what changed under the hood this year, because some of these improvements might actually be making things worse. On paper, 2025 looks like a refresh year for both trucks, but under the hood, it's a different story. Chevy stuck to its formula. Same small block family, same 6.2 and 5.3-liter V8s, but with a refined lifter oil seal design. Sounds promising. Now, until you realize this is the third time they've refined that part since 2020, and every time lifters keep collapsing like clockwork. This latest fix? More like a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Now, Ford, they actually made some real moves. The Gen 5 Coyote V8 got a new dual injection system, variable oil pump control, and cylinder deactivation for better fuel economy. Cool stuff, until you dig deeper. Cylinder deactivation means shutting off half your engine under light load. That's fine, until the oil pressure drops too low and you start getting metal-on-metal wear. And with the Coyote's new internal oil pump drive being belt-driven instead of gear-driven, there's a growing concern about long-term durability, especially under heat and towing loads. So now both trucks are packing more complex systems than ever, and when complexity goes up, so do the odds that something breaks. But that's nothing compared to what came next, because the 2025 recalls are already rolling in. And for some owners, the repairs don't just cost time, they cost entire engines. This is where things get ugly. Let's start with Chevy. In early 2025, GM issued a massive recall on nearly 600,000 trucks equipped with the 6.2-liter L87 V8. The problem? Microscopic defects in the connecting rods and crankshaft journals, tiny flaws you can't even see, but they're taking engines out under 10,000 miles. We're talking full failure, no warning. GM's fix? In many cases, a complete engine swap. And it's not just recalls. GM already shelled out over $100 million to settle a class action lawsuit over, yep, you guessed it, lifter collapse. That was before 2025. And now, even with their updated design, owners are still posting horror stories online. But Ford ain't off the hook either. The Blue Oval is now facing its own lawsuit over oil consumption in the Coyote. Some F-150s are burning a quart of oil every 1,000 miles. Ford tried brushing it off, but owners aren't buying it, especially after the 850,000 vehicle recall for a faulty fuel pump that can stall the engine at highway speeds. Another recall targets oil leaks from misaligned cup plugs, leading to total engine failure if it's not caught in time. So here's the truth. Both companies are bleeding through warranty claims. Chevy's lifters are failing again, and Ford's oil issues are stacking up faster than they can fix them. And you know what the wildest part is? These trucks are still sitting on showroom floors. No warnings, no disclaimers, just a shiny new badge and a big old V8 waiting to implode. Stats and lawsuits are one thing, but what's it actually like when your $70,000 truck fails on you? Let's start with Chevy. One Silverado owner reported a soft ticking sound around 55,000 miles. No warning lights, no performance drop, just a weird tick, until it wasn't. Dealer cracked it open, collapsed lifter, bent pushrod, and a camshaft chewed to hell. Full engine swap. Parts were on national backorder. The truck sat dead in a bay for 4 months. Then there's the 2023 5.3-liter owner who blew a lifter just past warranty. GM quoted over $9,000 for the repair. Not a rebuild, just a new long block. That's a financial punch to the gut for something that's still happening in the 2025 model. Now Ford's side, just as brutal. One Gen 3 Coyote driver noticed oil vanishing between every fill-up. Dealer brushed it off, said it was within spec. A quart every 1,000 miles is apparently normal now. Another owner, same engine, but the oil leak got so bad it stained the driveway and triggered a low-pressure warning at just 18,000 miles. And the worst part? The internet's flooded with stories just like these. These aren't one-offs, they're patterns. So here's the truth. When these engines go bad, they don't just fail quietly, they fail big, and they fail fast. So what happens when your V8 calls it quits? Here's what they don't tell you at the dealership. You could be without your truck for months. Let's say your Silverado's lifter fails. GM's own labor guide clocks an L87 engine swap at nearly 19 hours. And that's if your dealer has a tech-free and a replacement engine on hand. But guess what? They usually don't. Owners report nationwide shortages on replacement blocks. Some trucks are sitting for 60, 90, even 120 days waiting for parts that keep getting delayed. Now Ford, same nightmare, different flavor. That misaligned cup plug recall we mentioned? If your truck starts leaking oil and you need a short block replacement, you're looking at a full teardown. Labor is just as intense, 18 to 20 hours. And while Ford's warranty will usually cover it, God help you if you're outside that 5-year window. One guy reported a $7,800 bill after the leak was spotted at 62,000 miles. 2,000 miles too late. And if you need a loaner while your engine's being rebuilt, good luck. Dealers are tight on loaner stock, and extended downtime often means you're stuck renting on your own dime, while a truck you're still financing collects dust. So yeah, engine failure isn't just a mechanical issue, it's a financial black hole. Lost time, lost money. And if it happens out of warranty, you better be ready to write a check you never saw coming. Let's break this down. On paper, GM says only about 3% of the recalled 6.2-liter L87 engines will actually need to be replaced. That sounds manageable, until you remember how massive the recall is. That's still tens of thousands of engines that might grenade before 50,000 miles. And if you talk to owners, that number starts to look way too optimistic. Forums are flooded with lifter collapse stories, even on post-recall trucks. Ford's numbers aren't crystal clear, but their 2025 reliability rating dropped for a reason. With 850,000 trucks affected by the stalling fuel pump recall, plus rising complaints over oil consumption and leak issues, it's clear the Coyote isn't exactly bulletproof either. So who loses the engine war? Chevy's issues are more catastrophic. When a lifter fails, it usually takes the whole engine with it. But the failures happen less often. Ford's problems are more frequent, but most don't result in full-blown engine death. You'll burn oil, maybe stall, but you're not always replacing the block. So here's the harsh truth. Chevy's V8 is more likely to die a quick, expensive death, while Fords might slowly bleed you dry with nagging issues that chip away at your wallet over time. Now that you know the truth, here's how to avoid getting burned. So, what have we really learned here? These trucks are legends, but under the hood, they're both playing with fire. The 2025 Silverado's V8 will give you that deep, confident rumble, right up until a lifter gives out and takes the whole engine down with it. When it fails hard, and the fix could leave your truck stuck in limbo for months. The F-150, smoother ride, smarter tech, but it comes with sneaky problems. The oil vanishes, the fuel pump could stall, and that belt-driven oil system, time will tell if it holds up. So which one dies first? That depends. Do you fear a sudden $10,000 grenade or a slow drip of frustrating issues that drain your patience? Bottom line, neither V8 is perfect anymore. But now you know the warning signs, you know the risks, and you know how to catch the problem before it wrecks your wallet. Appreciate you sticking around, because next week we're diving into turbo territory to see if modern 6-cylinders are actually a smarter bet than these aging giants. Until then, keep your ears open and your oil topped off.